Seeing the psychologist, I think I was always someone who liked to talk, so I kind of liked to go there and kind of talk about what was going on in my family just because it was nice to have someone to talk to.
I went to therapy for like a good 3 years. And that helped me realize that it wasn't my fault because I was putting it a lot on myself. And, you know, I talked to my mom and dad separately about what was happening, but they weren't really giving me what I wanted to know. So the counseling and therapy really helped me understand it myself.
Well, I talked to a lot of my friends about it. The next day when I went into school, my friend just sort of hung out with me all day and comforted me, which was really nice.
My best friend was always there for me, to talk to me. So I was like, yeah, now I have someone to talk to besides my parents, because they don't really understand, you know? Like, my mom has, like, her parents were together till she was an adult. Like, she doesn't understand. And my dad's parents like that too, they're still together. So, like, I can't really talk to them because I don't really understand how that feels to me.
And my grandma was there for support, so she was kind of like my second dad, I guess.
I'm really close with my whole family on my mom's side, and I could really talk to them about anything, and especially because they know my mom the best. They grew up with her. So they could help me. I could talk to them, and they're adults, so it kind of helps more than my 6-year-old best friend, you know?
I talk to mostly my family about things. I'll either go to my aunt or my grandma and say like it's really affecting me right now, or I don't feel good about things right now, or this is going on or that's going on.
I'm pretty sure I asked like everyone I knew, like my brother, school teachers, you know, whoever was at the house, my relatives obviously, when I went to go see them.
I started by trying to write down my feelings on it.
I play baseball, and you know, that helped me escape from the divorce, and reading did too, so.
I didn't think about anything but dance, and that's what made me feel better because nothing was on my mind. I wasn't thinking anything bad. It was just all good thoughts.
I started playing piano, and it really did help. It keeps me free of like bad emotions, and it's also soothing.
Singing and acting is one of the best things of my life.
I also dance, which kind of goes back to the same thing that tennis and running help. It gets all that frustration and energy and stress, and it just channels it to something.
I liked playing piano because I didn't have to think. I had to be so focused on what my hands were doing that I didn't have to think about what had just happened.
And when I get all my energy out, I forget that my parents are divorced.
I like to do comedy and literature, basically, like write stories and write poems.
Just doing something you're passionate about, once you're in there, you completely forget about divorce, anything, separation.
I was very positive about it, and I think I knew that it was helping me so much develop a sense of like who I was and where I wanted to go as an actor, and it helped me to dig up these emotions when it came to acting and writing, and so that really helped me.
When I could draw, I was taking what was in my head, putting on the paper, and sealing it in the paper, and it wouldn't come back into my brain. Whenever I felt like I drew or something, this kind of thing, I felt like a little bit of my sadness was planted onto the paper, and now it was no longer in my head, but it was somewhere where it could just stay there.
I do paintings and drawings, like, of my parents' divorce, and that's of, like, my family. That helps me remember the good times that we had, and the good times makes it feel like they're still there sometimes.
I did gymnastics, cheerleading. I did a lot of cheerleading, and that you scream a lot in cheerleading, and sometimes I would scream into my pillows because I would get so mad at some things, and that kind of helped me because when I did cheerleading, I felt like I was cheering for someone, and that felt me being really good because I was getting the emotion out and I was helping someone win a game.
People think it's kind of cheesy sport, and I just took it really seriously. And that was like the place where I had all these friends, and like they were so nice to me. And that's where I can go and just forget about everything. And it felt nice going there. And I still cheer to this day.
Sports kind of drew a little together, but it also kind of had a little pain, just because I'd always be like, damn, I wish my dad were here, you know?
I mean, I meet new people and they're like, oh, your parents are divorced, that must be so hard, but my parents have been divorced for 7 years. It's sort of just a part of my life. I don't ever constantly think, oh, my parents are divorced, my life is forever different than it was before, especially being fairly young when it happened. It's sort of just matter of fact, it's fact of life. My parents live in 2 houses.